All right, so app and website. We are going to get started on agent.kw.com. Oh, hey, Shelly.
Hey, can I sit with you?
I said, do you want to sit over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Shelly's going to help me teach today.
Well, I'll be here.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to start on agent.kw.com. And to get to where you edit your website or your app, you're actually going to start on the tab called Consumer. Now you're going to notice they changed all of the little icons. So fun. We just learned what they were the first time, and now they changed them all. So if you click on the red KW, you'll see what each section is titled. So we're going to be in the Consumer section today. So once we're in Consumer, you've got landing pages, you've got agent site pages, and you have a guide builder, okay? You also, if you move your video people over, you actually have on the right side, site and app settings, and then a button that says create a new site. First, I'm gonna walk you guys through the basic setup and how you would do that if you haven't done it yet, very quickly, because it's not a long process. You would go to agent site pages and then click on configure your site. It's over on the right-hand side. So again, if it's hidden by your videos, just move those guys over. So configure your site. It's then going to ask you what provider you'd like to use. This is just because they know that some people would prefer to use a different carrier, but we're going to say that we want to use the KW sites and then submit. And then once you click on get started, it actually walks you step by step through the process. So you confirm your domain, you then go through your marketing profile and make sure all of that information is correct. It will make you put in a biography. So make sure you have that either saved somewhere that you can copy and paste, or make sure that you just put in there, if you want to come back to it, just put bio coming soon, because you don't want this to stop it from, publishing your site. And then you just scroll through. One little trick I learned too, sometimes when our cursor is on the left-hand side, so when it's in this section and I scroll down, it's going to scroll down on the preview. If I'm trying to find places to edit on the right-hand side, I have to put my cursor here and then scroll down, okay? So then you can put your social media URLs and it will automatically have your app link in there as well. So then I'm going to do save and continue. Move on to the next one, which is style and theme. So this is where you pick if you want red or black. Those are the only two choices. The homepage text appears above your search bar. And then you can upload 5 images of your choice that will scroll through on your home screen. So one recommendation is to use high quality stock photos. So there's actually a website, and I'll put it in the chat real quick. Or actually, Kira, if you wouldn't mind putting it in the chat, because mine, I can't find where it is right now because I'm sharing my screen. Oh, here it went. But if you could put in the chat, unsplash.com, that is a really great website for stock photos. So you can just type in house, kitchen, beach, whatever you want, and they're all going to be nice, high quality images that'll look great on your website. Okay. And then save and continue. This next page is a company profile page. So that could be your about KW page, essentially. So what's it like to work with a KW agent? So then you can fill out, there's 2 places to put, little paragraphs and then 2 images. I actually have some stock verbiage and kind of like some images too that you can use. If you just email me, then I can send that to you. It's in a zip folder. It's got all of the verbiage that you would need. And then I'm going to click on continue. Here's the about me section. Most of that should pull over automatically. So, I would just double check to make sure under the content section that everything looks good and how you want it to. And then continue. Last page is a contact us page. Very straightforward, okay? I would not worry about this. I would not try to micromanage it. If you want to change what the message area preview says, then you can do that under content. Otherwise, you really don't need to worry about this at all. Okay. So then save and continue. And then it says, what's next? Well, so it says your site will automatically launch on October 1st. Well, we are way past October 1st. So within 24 to 48 hours, your site will be published. Now there's one more step. I'm going to hit this X real quick. There's one more step that I want to make sure everyone knows about. If you click on Site and App Settings, there is a button. Oh, it's behind my videos again, so I'm going to move my videos back to the right side. On the left-hand side, it says use my information to brand my agent site. You have to give them permission to use what you just put in there, essentially. It's kind of silly, in my opinion. I feel like this should be in the guide itself, but no worries. You're just going to click this, turn it on, and then it will take all of that information you just composed and then put it onto your site within 24 to 48 hours. Okay? And then you'll notice here too, if you ever want to go back and edit certain things, all you have to do is come now to your settings and you can edit your photos. You can add a virtual tour, apparently, that's new. URLs will show you what your subdomain is. It'll also show you your app URL. So that app URL, if you share that with someone, it leads them to download your KW app. So everyone's app URL is different. So I definitely would save this in your phone somewhere so you can text it to people. You can also post it on Facebook. You can send it in an email. It's just like any other link that you would share with your customers. So then featured listings. So this is a new thing that they added where you can add featured listings to your website. So here you'll see featured listings header text. We'll just put check out these featured listings. And then you can select the listings. So you can select your own listings. You can then switch this to all listings and pick some from the office. Now think about this though, because we're manually choosing these, they will not just fill in with new ones once these are under contract or sold. You'll have to come in here and update this fairly frequently if you want to have featured listings, okay? So once you have yours selected, you click done, and then those will show up on your agent website, okay? So I can click on save changes. So then theme, if you ever want to switch from red to the dark theme, you can do that. Oh my gosh, when I said the dark theme, I thought of Star Wars, the dark side. And then
Megan, sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. Could you go back? You said you go on to featured listings or selected listings. How did you?
So I'm in site and app settings, and then I click on featured listings, and then there was a button that said select listings.
Oh, okay. That's what I missed. Okay, perfect.
And if there are any issues when you're trying to select these, there's also another way to do this. You can click on Learn More with Kelly Guides and actually do consumer settings. For some reason, the featured listings are tucked into the app settings. And then you can walk through that Kelly Guide, just like we did the Kelly Guide for your website. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Wow.
So then theme, you have red or dark. Site pages, this is if you were to add new additional pages to your website. Now, a question I get a lot, or like, how can I customize my website? How can I add additional pages? So you add additional pages by creating landing pages. Now, you're very limited in the formats that you are allowed to use. So if I click on landing pages and then create a new site, I can choose to create a standalone page, or in this case, if I'm putting it on my agent site, I would select on my agent site and then create the page. So then here, you'll see all of your widgets are on the right. So these are the only widgets you have to choose from. So you've got the agent profile, a team profile, contact form, testimonials, carousel, testimonials list, company profile, testimonial capture form, and download my app. So very few, there's not like a blog one, which upsets some of the agents for sure. There are some ways around this. If you guys do want a blog on your website, there is a way to do it. It's just kind of a weird roundabout way. So you'd want to get in touch with me and I can help you to do that. Okay. But that's how you add a page to your website. Okay, so websites. As far as how you use them, what you use them for. The KW website is mostly for them to see your personal information as far as your bio, get to know you, get to know the company, but then also to search for property. If you are ever advertising a listing on your Facebook, go to your website, search the listing, and share from your own website. You should not be sharing from Zillow or Realtor.com because you have your own version of Zillow and Realtor.com. We know that customers most likely are not going to want to use your site to search because that's just Zillow has all the market share as far as search goes, and we're not going to fight that. But if you're advertising your listing, don't promote Zillow or Realtor.com, promote your brand, which is your website. So when you share a listing on your email or on social media, or send a link to someone saying, hey, I thought of you when I saw this, check this out. Make sure it's from your website, because then also the more traffic you have on your website, the better your search engine optimization is going to be. Meaning the higher up on Google searches you will be, because people are spending time on your site and they are actually using it to search. And so you're creating some traffic that then Google notices and they're like, oh, this site must be doing pretty well. Let's boost them up in the search engine. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. Now, as far as website is concerned, does anyone have any questions before I move on to the KW app? You have a
Have they
question?
built their website?
Have you guys built your websites? Shelley would like to know.
No.
We'll take the silence as a no. Okay.
No.
You're
Yeah.
in good company.
Yeah. So those of you that haven't built them, it's very simple to walk through that guide. I encourage you guys to do that. And again, shoot me an email if you want that KW verbiage that I have. The tech guy from the region actually created that for us and sent it to us. So a lot of our agents have used that. So does anybody have a website that is not KW? Maybe you use Playster or use a different platform?
Yeah.
No? Everyone uses KW?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I was gonna say, I know of a few agents that use Playster, and I know of a few agents that use Wix. So there's definitely other options out there if you guys are not thrilled with your website. But so here's the thing about websites. I'm reading a book called The Social Agent 2.0. And one of the things he talks about is that there's not like, you're not going to get your people. There you go. You're not going to get your people to just stop using Zillow and start using your site to search, right? Where a website is important is that's your first impression to potential customers, especially ones that someone referred. So, say you have a friend that's, talking to their friend. Oh yeah, I have a realtor. They're great. You should check them out. First thing they're going to do is Google you, look you up on Facebook, or check out your website. That is your first impression to a potential customer. So again, a website is not like, oh yeah, the search feature is what's going to be used the most. No, it's your first impression. So to have a website is very important. To have a nice, tailored, branded website to you, I would say, is also very important. However, I know it's not necessarily a lot of agents' priority. They just want to have a site up there. They don't care what it looks like. Because again, it's not going to be used for search. It's just your first impression. If you guys are looking for something more custom because you want to be able to have a kind of greater impact in your first impression, I would suggest looking into other options too. Like if you want to have a more unique style or look, Playster is a good one. It's very easy to use as well. And Wix, I have a couple people that use Wix, and I just want to show you the difference in what that looks like, if that's okay. Are you guys cool with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not trying to like diss KW products or anything, but I just want to show you guys your options. So this is an agent in our office. She used to do graphic design, so she built her own.
Oh, love it.
And so this is her website. You'll notice, so selling, buying, searching, and then about her team. You can also navigate up here. She has a great video that's an introduction to who she is. She did a cute little signature thing. And then she's got her social media stuff. Okay. Now, if she clicks on searching, it actually takes them to the Keller Williams site so they can search if they want to search. So she's actually incorporating both of those websites together in a sense. So that's one option. And so she uses Wix. And then another one that uses Wix is Kim Sessions. I can't remember what hers is. Hold on. Let's see her SEO, how it goes. There we go, kimsessions.com. So she also used Wix, and her assistant built this for her. So you'll notice you get a much more custom look. I would say it's a more impactful first impression, but again, sometimes this is not the priority, and I understand that. But when you get to a certain level and you're going up against people that do have websites that look like this, that will become more important, okay? Third option, which is Playster. It's very simple, very clean, easy to edit. So if you are doing this on your own, you're not hiring someone, this is a really great option, okay? So you've got the real estate search built right in. You get your pictures, you can have blogs, you can add, you know, any kind of pages you want. And then you have featured listings, of course, as well. And this one's a little less hands-on than a Wix site. Wix is definitely a larger project for sure. Or Squarespace, that's the
That
thing.
looks good.
Mhm.
I've got one.
You have a
A
question?
website.
Oh, website? Oh, let's look at Shelly's
Yeah.
website.
www.northfloridabeach.com.
Okay.
.property, sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
North Florida Beach.
North Florida Beach property.
Yeah.
Ooh, fancy, fancy.
Really?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay.
It definitely is unique in comparison to the KW sites. I think it's it could be a little more spread
Boxy.
out and like
Yeah.
not as busy, but I like the overall style of it. Yep, and you get to know, so you've got her team up here. Then you can do contact, selling or buying, what my customers are saying. Yeah. So yeah, you guys definitely have other options as far as the website's concerned. So just remember, it's your first impression to your potential customers. So the higher up as far as price point or kind of more of those luxury clients, you're going to go up against people that have invested a little bit more into their website. So that's where it becomes a little bit more important to put that, you know, value into your website.
So do we need to copy this to the KW website or leave it alone?
If you're
It's
using
okay.
a different platform, you do not need to even set up the KW site if you don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not going to hurt me.
Nope, will not hurt you. All right, do you guys have any more questions about website before I move on to apps or KW app?
Megan,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Mhm.
I just checked my on my phone and I was looking at the website because it seems like we've done this, but I can't remember. Things have, you know, when I first started, I think we set something up with Scott Leroy and I can't remember. Anyway, when I pulled mine up, it has a realtor website for me. It says under my name, and I don't think I produced that. I think that was just something produced. Do you know what that is?
I'd have to take a look at it to know for sure, but it's very
Yeah.
possible that you set up your KW site and don't remember because it's a very quick process. So
Maybe
it's
I
very
did.
possible
Okay.
that you set that up. But all the command sites kind of look very similar. So if it looks like the one here, I can show you again.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that. So I think, no, I don't remember. I don't recall going into command to do that. I remember looking at the steps at one time because I know you've discussed this. So I'm going to go back and look. It's just, and then I was going to ask, this sounds silly, but you know, we've got so many new platforms. Is it possible for you to give us a list of, is there anything that we can discard off of our phones or computers that we don't use anymore? I mean, or do you
Yeah.
not recommend?
I mean, as far as off your phones, I can't think of anything to take off your phone. As far as the platform we're not using anymore is MyKW. So that's pretty much
Okay.
the only thing we're not using anymore.
So we can just take that. Okay. Because I have, you know, like on my computer, all my little drop downs that I've saved and I
Yeah.
don't need that anymore. Okay. was trying to clean things up. Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so your KW app. Let's get into that a little bit. So your Keller Williams app, if you have not downloaded it yet, easiest way is just to go into your app store on your phone, and then, which I'll show you guys. So you go into your app store and then you download this red KW, red and white KW app. Then it will prompt you to sign up or log in. You do not have an agent login. Let me say that again. You do not have an agent login. So you want to sign up as if you're a customer, and then it'll allow you to sign in as a customer. And then what you can do is go over to where it says me in the corner. And then at the top, so mine's already branded. That's how you know if it's branded, is it'll have your agent's name and face, so your name and face. If it's not, then what you're gonna do is click on Find My Agent.
Wrong one, right?
No, that's the right one. So
Okay.
you just wanna be here,
Oh, and
and then you're branded, so you're good.
okay.
So you're gonna click on your agent and then search for yourself. Once you brand it, so then it says get in touch, you select you, and then it's branded. So then you can share the app directly from that app. It says share my KW app, or you can, like I said before, your URL just by itself, when you share that, it will take them to download the app. You can do that by sharing that URL, which is found in the consumer tab, and then clicking on site and app settings, and then URLs. So you'll see here you've got that app URL. So when you share that with them, they download the app, they create a login, and then when they start looking at properties, that then is put in your contact information for that person. So for example, I'm gonna just pull up, so you see how, let me show you. So under filters, if I do branded to me, it will show me anyone who has my mobile app and is searching. Wow, I have a lot of mobile app apparently. So it has this little green check mark that says agent site connection. That means that I downloaded her branded app and I've created a login, okay? So I'm gonna click on this. Over on the right-hand side, you'll see which listings I viewed, which ones are in my collection or in my favorites. Okay, so then you can stock all of my activity here on the right-hand side within my contact information in Command. So I think it was Lori that was asking, how do you know what they're searching for, or what can you do like once they download it? This is where you'll see everything that they viewed and opened, and it's a great conversation starter. Like, hey, I noticed, I got a notification that you were looking at this listing. The pictures aren't necessarily doing it justice. Would you like to go see it in person? Or, hey, I noticed you were looking at this listing. That price range really flies. So maybe we should set up some showings and, get started. It's just a great means of connecting with them, and then hopefully, getting in front of them to show them properties and whatnot. Do you guys have any questions about this? No? Okay. So then the app is pretty straightforward. You can share it on that URL, like I said. You can share it on Facebook. You can send it in an email. You can text it to people. Now, there's a really cool feature within the app called the Guide Builder. For your customer, it's called the Guide option. So I'm going to I feel like I'm making y'all dizzy probably. Stop sharing my screen. And then when I'm in the app, if I click on Guide, it's then going to show me steps that I've created, which if you guys haven't edited it, it'll just have the stock ones in there. So there's a buying checklist, and then there's a selling checklist with steps. Okay, and I'm going to show you where to edit this. So this is another great way, instead of maybe like you have somebody that doesn't really care to search for homes, maybe they're looking to sell their home, you could say, hey, I have a great checklist that gets you ready to sell your home. Let me share my mobile app with you. So just another item of value that you can advertise when sharing your app, okay? So I'm gonna share my screen again. So if I'm in consumer and I go to Guide Builder, this is where I can edit those guides. So I have a buying guide and I have a selling guide. So I'm gonna click on the edit pencil of the buyer's guide, okay? And then, so it is going to go through it. So the first step is start your search, get pre-approved, tour homes, make an offer. And this is exactly how they're seeing it on the app. It's really clean looking little, you know, cards that they can click on. So if I click on start your search, over on the right-hand side, I can then edit all of that information, right? So I can edit this picture, which I actually thought this was a great idea. There was an agent that instead of putting start your search first, put meet your agent and put a little bio about her, even though they can go to your bio for that as well. It's just another way to have your face in front of them. So it was a little, you know, picture of her about, you know, what she can do for her customers, that kind of thing. So you can update that picture, card title, subtitle, so that's what shows up underneath. And then of course, you then have the paragraph when they actually open the card and are reading it, okay? There's also a little trash can if you want to remove the step, okay? So say you remove it, you can also then add a totally new one that's not on here. One thing I want to point out, for home insurance, you'll notice it doesn't allow you to edit. They have it coded to where it recommends Keller Covered. Keller Covered is not in Florida yet, so it's kind of annoying that they did this already. So if you delete this, you can add your own custom one with home insurance, okay? And then you can write whatever you'd like. But I just like to give people a heads up. Same with mortgage. They want to push Keller Mortgage. So there is under get pre-approved, you'll notice you can't edit that one either. That one is going to have a link to Keller Mortgage. Now, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think Keller Mortgage is a great option, but if you have customers that would like more options, you could even just put in the subtitle or something, you know, contact me for more options about mortgage or something like that. Or you can create a whole new one and have, you know, Bank of England, Keller Mortgage, Movement Mortgage, you know, whatever mortgage companies you want on there, okay? So then once you're finished, of course, you'll save your changes. And then if I go back, I can then do my seller's guide. So it's got showing your home, review offers, inspection, appraisal, and close. So you could do, before showing your home, you could do something about getting your house ready to list. How do I know the value of my home? Different things like that. So that way you're capturing people that are thinking about selling also, not just the ones that are currently selling their home with you, if that makes sense. The cool thing is too, I'm going to open the app on my phone and show you guys when your customer is in their app. Okay, it's hard to see, I know, sorry. If they're in the app and I click on guide and then I open that first step, start your search, at the bottom, it's going to say mark as completed. That then shows up in the timeline that I've completed that step. So just like where it showed what houses I was searching for, it'll also show you if I've completed any steps in the guide, which is super cool. So again, the guides are very important. It's just another item of value that you're offering them through the app rather than just for home searching, because people are not always looking at homes, right? So you need to offer more value than just looking at pretty houses, okay? Okay, so do you guys have any questions? Oh, there's some in the chat, hold on. So how do you add photos to the guide? Great question. So adding photos, when I'm editing one of the steps, right here, I can click here to update my image. So I would click, and then I would upload from my computer a replacement image. Again, Unsplash is a really great resource for finding pretty stock photos. I highly suggest checking that out for all of these different places where you need photos. Okay, any other questions?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. No, we all got our app downloaded? Yay? Nay? Okay. And then
Sorry. Sorry, I couldn't unmute it fast enough. I do have a question. And actually, I'm getting some renovation done here at my house, so it's been kind of loud, but he's outside right now, so It's perfect timing. So I do have mine, but I got a new phone, so it didn't, I don't think it recognized me. So I had to start, I'm showing up as like somebody going on to my site.
Mhm.
I don't know if I did that right.
Yeah, so
You
it's
know-
supposed to, you just want your app to have, if you go to the you icon, it'll have you at the agent at the top. So if it shows you at the top as the agent, then you have done it correctly. There's no agent login for the app. It's a little confusing. You're not logging into the app. You're logging in as a customer and then branding it so then you can share it directly from there. And by doing that, it also allows you to kind of play around and see how it's reflected on command. So it'll like add you as a contact that has downloaded the app, and then you can kind of play with it and see like, okay, if I view a listing, what happens, So there's no agent sign in necessarily. You're signing up as a customer and then logging in as a customer, but you want it to be branded to you yourself as the agent. Does that make sense?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, Ron, you got any questions, any thoughts? Oh, you're muted. I can't hear you. Oh, still can't hear you. Are you connected to a Bluetooth device? Sometimes that affects it. Nothing. Well, sorry, Ron. But yeah, I highly recommend to you guys, like if you're really looking to vamp up your online presence, website is a great place to start because then that can connect to your Facebook profile, your Instagram profile, YouTube, everything. So definitely a foundational thing that you guys need to set up, no matter how you're setting it up. Those of you that are in a higher price range up against some, kind of more experienced agents, I would suggest trying to put a little bit more money and time into your website to, again, just have that great of a first impression that it beats your competition. So also that book is really awesome if y'all want to read it, Social Agent 2.0. He actually, that guy, Tony G something, he is a luxury agent. He's a coach. His website is insane. So definitely look up that book because it's awesome.
What's the name of the book again?
I'll type it in the chat, which Ron, if you want to add something, put it in the chat because we still can't hear you.
Megan, in that book, does he talk about how he did his website or?
I haven't gotten to his website necessarily yet. So it's more talking about how, like the importance of social media and online presence. I don't think he really has gotten into, not yet anyway, hasn't gotten into like what platform he used and that kind of thing. But he was actually on the luxury call a couple weeks ago. And I did write down, he told what platform he used and everything. I will say I'm sure it was a pretty penny what he spent on his website. So if you guys are interested, just shoot me an email and I can look that up for you because I did write down the platform that he used along with a couple other ones that he mentioned. So.
Awesome, thank you.
Oh yeah, he is coming back in September for that luxury call again, but I'm pretty sure it's just for luxury agents that are in that group, but I can take good notes and fill you in.
Hey, George.
What's his name?
Oh geez. Can you type it in the chat, Ron? I can't spell his last name.
Great. Hey, Leslie.
Giordano?
This morning, because I know y'all want to try to.
Let's see.
Giordano. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool guys. We got through that in about 35 minutes. Oh, there's the book again. Definitely, if you guys have any questions about setting up your website or if you're looking into some other options, would love to talk to you about that. And app, start sharing it. Again, you're not going to ever replace Zillow, but you just want to, get your branding in front of them as much as possible and offer them as much value as you can. So Y'all have a wonderful weekend of one sunny day and then a bunch of rain for like a week.
Thank you so much, Megan. Have a great weekend.
All right. Bye, guys.